Working the song in Reaper Part 2, straight ahead. Alright, so here we are in the second part of editing this track. We're getting this complete track, this little mix here, ready for vocal recording in the next episode. In the meantime, the mundane task of setting markers, and it is a pain, but it is necessary, and so we will set markers. And here, my intro. It's a pain, but must be done. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but we have all been here. First chorus, and it is a worthy task putting markers in your tune, because it makes it so much easier to jump around and do what you have to do. And I'll just set one more while we're on here, and then we'll second break, and you get the idea. It's a good idea to set markers. Do it, it helps. Okay, so here is all my markers set, and as I said, a worthy cause. It's worth it to do it. And in doing so, by the way, I noticed that this song of mine is about, including the fade out, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Not a particularly long song, but if it were any longer, I think I'd go completely bananas. So, a little over 2 minutes is just fine with me. And this is a pretty exciting little song, so it'll be nice and jam-packed for 2 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at something I did while we were away, because it was just too long and too complex to try and fit onto into one of the episodes fully doing the edit. But we can take a look at what I did after the fact, and that is making a signature lick. I spoke about this in an earlier episode. As much as I tried to find something that would work in the fiddle solos for even remotely a kind of good lick that worked on the intro and on the break, I could not find it. So I was forced to assemble one myself. And this is essentially what I did. I will play it first so you can kind of hear what I did. Good. This was as I said, a necessary part of the process to get something going in this intro. Now, it's not a fantastically wonderful signature lick, but it does have a certain charm to it that works as a signature kind of lick rather than just noodling from the soloing from the soloists on fiddle that doesn't really speak to anything for a signature. So I had to, and it does kind of work for that, I think. I must tell you, this was a real bitch to assemble, I have to say. So let's take a quick peek here. Really, what I did was just a series of snips and snaps from different things. And here, let's see if I can increase it, make it a little better. Here, all I did was use crossfading to work the parts together. They kind of cascade down into one another until it finally hits the last part. And that's the joy of crossfading and envelopes, because it just, you can do this kind of thing. And I will solo these. That took quite a while to do, but it was worth it to do because now I have a little something that speaks as a signature lick in the beginning. It's not easy to do, and some people may consider it a little over the top and a little nutty to do, but in my song productions I'm very particular about beginning, middle, and everything, and so a signature lick to me, even using Beob, is important to me, rather than just let it generate itself and take whatever it gives me in Band in the Box. I prefer to have real good signature licks. It makes your production stand out more than just, hey, I auto-generated everything and here it is. Now, of course, what I will do is I will render these. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks. I took up 7 tracks to do this, but I'll render them down all to a stereo wave file, and that will be my signature lick that I can dump into a couple of spots where I need it. Now this drum edit here, there's this one little transition part in the verse that I'm not particularly thrilled with. It's kind of bland. That little shot right before the cymbal break. So I put a marker there, and remember back here I had all kinds of fills. Remember, I wrote them at the end of the chart in Band in the Box. And I grabbed one of those, and I am going to put it in. Put it. I'll just paste one in right there. Now, I like it a lot better. It's a lot better than it was. That makes a nice little bounce. Another little task I have before I go in and start vocal recording on this song is I need some metronome timing in some spots to help me vocally when I'm recording. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to very simply dump some metronome in some spots to help me out. And I will place one there. So good, and that will help me because that is quite a little break where I do have vocal going over that, and I'm going to need some count there, and I'm going to need it in this spot as well. And I just make it a little cleaner. And that'll help me. Good. Very good. And I'll need it over in this spot too, just by the last chorus before our modulation. And just back that off. And that should help me through this last spot as well. Excellent. And that will help get me through all those little breaks where I need some help from a metronome to keep me in line. Okay, so that does it for most of what I need to get a mix over to sing with in the studio. I will do some little follow-up edits before I head into the studio, but in any case, what I will do is I will have a very bare bones mix. I will only have the metronome enabled, bass, drums, acoustic strum, and perhaps those signature licks, but maybe not even that. And that's it, just a rhythm section to sing to. I do not like a full-blown everything going mix when I sing. I like a very specific pared down mix when I do vocal. It helps me concentrate on pitch, and it helps me concentrate on phrasing to not have a lot of stuff in the way. And so you'll notice when we do the vocal section in the next episode, my mix is very pared down, specifically for vocal recording. And that's going to do it for this episode. This was a little bit of a shorter one, but we want to get in the studio, right? We want to see some equipment. We want to do some vocal recording. And so that should be a lot of fun. Please join me in the next episode when we have a whole bunch of fun in my studio. See you then.